Let's check now with our squash here. This is the rarest of all the squash. It became stubborn this time, Okay. I see progress here. There is obvious development, as you can see. So the development is really very obvious today. Is it manipulable? Okay. So the growth and development right now are so obvious here. So it is already almost reaching the summit of it. So far guys, in this section there are 3 sets of squash that is really competing each other. What happened to you? You should have been okay coiling here. Okay, obviously you have to coil there. What happened? This one I'm so happy because I didn't expect that it's going to make it because there are a lot of things that overshadows it. So this one, okay, still very hopeful. I don't know, when I watered this one today, it fell on the ground. Perhaps it is surrendering or praying. This one, oh, so happy to see this one. It started to position itself to go up. So let's allow these ones to expand, and then before they are going to go up, let them expand first before going up. Let me first showcase to you, the outermost side, the right side of it, of our squash here. This is now the other section of the squash plantation, and there are still plenty of spaces to be filled, so you better hurry, and you have to fill every gap. And that seemed to be very possible this time, that all the gaps are going to be filled because there are plenty of young shoots growing from the main vine. Another young shoot. So not shoot but shoots. Okay, even here, and here. I have that kind of feeling today that I am going to be duplicating what we have just done 2 years ago, and even last year. There is a good performance in last year's squash plantation, and I have that kind of feeling that I'm going to duplicate that feat. But we are not just going to be bragging about it, because we are still having a serious issue in terms of our water supply. Yeah, there is still a serious issue in that. Oh, we need to guide this one. You have to go there, play. Sorry to hurt you. You have to go there. Mm. Mm. Okay. Thank you for following. So here it's like empty space. Yeah, it's still very empty. This is the challenge of the squash here, to fill, every empty space. So just today I loosened up. I loosened the soil here so that it will provide breathing ground for the roots to look for alternatives, to look for food. I also loosened the soil here, but while loosening I saw the formation of huge roots, and I suspected that these roots are actually not from the squash but from the other roots, like the ipil-ipil, or perhaps the roots from kamachali. So really there is a struggle here, and that's the reason why there is a stagnation in its growth here, because the roots could not develop fully because there are competitors. So I need to locate that. If you're going to see this, there are a lot of roots here, but these obviously not from the squash. So even if there are competitors along the way, you will be able to see here and observe that they manage to grow on its own. Just for example, this one. This is actually growing in an environment where there are a lot of competitors, but it managed to grow even to the summit right now, and it became supreme. And this one also is having the freedom to just be growing, and not only growing, but it also left us with awe, especially in witnessing that not only that the summit is heading towards the summit of the villa, but there are also other secondary young shoots that grew along with this one. So obviously this one is okay. This one is trying its best to become the best of the squash here in this section. If you notice the powdery feature on the leaves of the squash, these are actually the flesh, powdery flesh of the kamachali, because there are insects that eat the flesh of the kamachali that make it weak later on, but not a harm actually. So this one is Wow. Wanted to go up. I think everyone is very eager to go up, just like this one. All are actually so eager to go up on this one. Wow. Okay, this is the first that coils here at our summit. Wow, it already positioned itself to cover us, so we will be having a roof, but this time not from a galvanized iron, but roof from the leaves of the squash. Wow, we are so happy to be witnessing that later on. So even just a day that had passed, there are really obvious changes. Even just a single day, we can really see and witness the increase in length, the increase in the width of the leaves, and it will always surprise us, especially the changes of its colors. Wow. How I wish I have a CCTV here, CCTV footage of the growth and development of the squash, right? It would have been like a perfect description of how we are raising and how we are growing the squash here in the desert. So the growth and development here is not actually in a uniform pattern. You can see here that it is dominant and it became like domineering of all, but there are also like squash that remains to be inferior, like this one, still at the base, here at the middle, and this one also is having like a crumpled cloth in terms of its leaves feature. And this one, since it crossover, so the tendency is she has to double her time so that she will be able to cope up with the dynamics of the other squash growth and development. And obviously this one became the domineering part of it, and okay, obviously we need to also manipulate a little while, a little bit. Oh, this one. So if this one must have coiled on our rope here, this must have been the first one to coil, but it already coiled itself even to that wooden pole from Kamachili. So it already reaches there, but the tendency, of course, it's going to go down. This one is already there, and mark my word, tomorrow this is going to coil here in this rope. This one too. So plenty of young vines right now. I am sorry, but you need really sorry, but you really need to go at the back. So this is actually the highlight of it. It's very huge. Okay, and this one almost reaches the summit. What are you going to do? So you have to just, you know, okay, call yourself, brace yourself there. So today guys, this is the update of our squash, and wow, the leaves just so big really, and it's so wide. Thank you guys for watching SAS TV Official.